The Persian Empire was a period after Mordecai and Esther was the time that the whites claimed to be Jews around that period. Then, during the Hasmonean period, which was governed by black people and the dynasties of the Hasmoneans, certain ones in the Maccabean family line, Hyrcanus and some of the other ones, Alexander Hanius from his lineage going back, and Judas Maccabees, Simon and the other ones, they cleaned up some of the white people that was located in Mount Seir and circumcised them and taught them our doctrine and so forth. So from that period on, the people in Mount Seir, which is called Idumeans, claimed and associated themselves with being Jews. And this is the same faction that we're dealing with today in this modern day of time. They come from the family of Esau called the Amalekites. The other groups of the Edom, which are Edomites. The other group of the Edomites is up in the Caucasus Mountains between the Caspian and the Black Sea. Now these people that was up in the Caucasus Mountains was the one that was eating out of their forefathers and their grandmother's skull. These were the cavemen of the white man. And they was also cleaned up too by black Israelites that was being opposed by the Ottoman and Turk Empire from the whites and the Arabs just coming down trying to destroy Constantine, which they finally did destroy in 1453. And so they saw an advantage to clean these people up and teach them our laws also, like our other forefathers had did from Mount Seir, and taught them our customs, because they felt like these people would also join the black Israelites and fight against the Arabs and the other white that was coming down on Constantinople. So from this period on, the whites have tried to keep and associate themselves as being Jews. And this is a demonic faction that we are dealing with today that are against the true teaching of the black Israelites. Now, we're going to go forth and we're going to read on some of this letter, what we have here. It says, you are guilty of unforgivable sins against the Most High, the power of the light, and against all his special ones from Adam to Jesus who are and are white. Give me, let's prove that, we just proved that Adam came from the soils of the earth. Now let's prove that Jesus Christ is a black man, so-called Negro. Revelation 1, 14 and 15. Read that.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
The Bible said Jesus' head and his hairs is white like wool. Who on this earth got the woolly hair? The so-called Negro got woolly hair. The white man that's called himself a Jew does not have no woolly hair. That's plain and simple. White like wool. The reason his hair was completely gray is because he had the burns and worriation and the burden of his people on his back. And you saw what the whites was doing to us, killing us during that time. There was many things going on in the time of Christ and his earth. There was insurrections going on, Pontius Pilate and Herod, and they was fighting against the Jews, the black Jews that was in their land. The Roman garrisons was set up from the time of Titus, and from the time of the Caesars, Augustus and Tiberius Caesar had Roman garrisons in there. Okay, we're still mentioning the color of Jesus. We're still mentioning the color of Jesus Christ, and that he was black, and Mary, his mother, was black, and his father Joseph was black. Now here's a picture of that from the Middle Ages showing you that Mary and the baby Jesus Christ was Negroid, okay, so-called black descendants. All right, from the Byzantine era, the son and the mother. Now we're going to show a picture from that Saint Luke did, and painted the Mary and Christ as the black Madonna. We're going to show that a little later on.
And from the
Russian icons
being carried around
in Russia. Now, these relics and artifacts tells the truth, without a shadow of a doubt. It tells the truth. So all these people that has a misconception and have been given lies and bred lies through their ancestry, you will be shut down to think that Jesus Christ and the Israelites were white people with this picture. Okay? Okay, so we're going on into more of this letter. But first of all, what I'd like to say, I mentioned earlier about these different Aryan race groups trying to associate us as being Cush. Now, even the Jewish Defense League know, and the whites is calling themselves Jews, know that all this ideology that the nations are worshiping come from Nimrod. Even them have a temple in their communities calling themselves the Temple of Vulcan. Vulcan, without a shadow of a doubt, was also classified as being Nimrod and also as being the devil. And you can see this from back here in the back of this book called Babylon, if I can, you can zero in on it. We're going to show you in the Jewish community they have a temple called Vulcan. What the Jewish community, the Most High calls them the synagogue of Satan. Give me that. That's who they are. The synagogue of Satan. If you look over here, and
what's that?
Vulcan is right here. See what it says? Vulcan equals Nimrod.
Right.
Now another reason that they classify us as being the devil and all that, and say that we're teaching lies and so forth. Now this is another name. Nimrod transformed into many deities of worship, but he was also Bacchus, which is in the Greco-Roman Empire. They worship Nimrod as Bacchus, which is worshiping the god of fertility. That's why all the architectural structures of this society in the Greco-Roman Empire is made up as a phallic symbol. The phallics who worship the god of fertility and the woman of fertility, which is the queen of heaven that they classify as being Athena, and goes all the way back to Nimrod's mother, Semiramis. Now here's another name that they call Nimrod. They call him Orion, all right? They call him Osiris, all right? They called him, I'm going to show you one of the names that they also call him, another name which is associated with being the devil. They called him, if you can zero in on this, they called Nimrod, hold the mic for me up, let me point to this. They called Nimrod Lucifer. Where my finger is right here.
Okay, let me come up on it.
Come in closer. So now you can see the lies that the white world has put in the blacks, into their children's head, that all black people Lucifer, or the god of darkness, and they come their father was the devil and so forth, because it goes back to the worshiping of Nimrod. All the deities and the gods that was worshipped, the pagan gods that was worshipped prior to the 1400s were black. All of them. But these gods did not associate themselves, they were not associated with being from the children of Israel. They was associated from the nation of Ham, that so-called African nation.
Right.
They were not associated with the children of Israel, because the children of Israel worshiped the Most High.
Right, the true God.
The true God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We didn't worship what Nimrod worshiped and the African nations worshiped, because we are not them people. We didn't associate with the Africans. We didn't have nothing to do with them, because they was all dark people are not the same nation. So now you can understand why there's so much racism in this country and in the world that is perpetrated by the white world.
Might I add something to that? Not only was the Hamites worshiping these false gods, which was set up by Nimrod, but the East Indians were worshiping, the Arabs were worshiping them, the so-called white man, and all other nations outside the nation of Israel was worshiping Nimrod and his mother, all of them.
That's right. All of them was worshiping these deities and these gods and so forth. Now,